Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. I have fun with this cup. I also have to be very careful how I handle it because it doesn't look the way it feels, or if you know what I mean. Anyway, I found another battery holder that holds D cells. The problem is it only holds 3 D cells. So I'm probably not going to use it because it had been my hope to take a couple of D cells and have them wired up, you might say, in a parallel so that, I have 2 that only produce 1.5 volts between the 2 of them. Anyway, when we actually do that, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I have a clock in the kitchen right now that is actually wired up that way. It actually takes the smaller battery, it takes the C cells. You can either use 2 of them or you can use 4 of them. And if you use 4 of them, it runs twice as long. So when I first got that clock, must be about 7 years ago now, I ordered 4 batteries and I put them in, and it did actually go for it actually went longer than they said it might. It seems to me it went 4 or 5 years. And then I changed them again. I put 4 more new ones in. But you can actually do that. I used to think you couldn't do that with batteries. I thought that what they would do is they would work against each other. But they don't. I think what happens is the one battery that might be a smidgen more than the other will go down in power, and the battery that's just a little bit under, it goes up until they sort of neutralize, and then they both stay there. And then as the load is put on them, they just slowly go down together. So that's my plan for this. I'm going to try and use 4. I got my switch here that I was talking about yesterday, and this is going to work a lot better. Yes, if I forget to turn it off, it's going to stay on. But hey, with 4 batteries, that's all right. We'll worry about that later. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to drill our holes in here. We're going to glue these in place. We're going to drill our nail holes to go down into the back of the wall. Now, people were telling me, at least 4 people said, why don't you use a French cleat? I know about a French cleat, and I know what it is. In fact, that big wall clock that's over there on the wall, it's actually a wall clock. It's not a floor standing clock. I know it looks like it is because the bottom of it's only about this much off the floor, but that's actually a wall clock. And it is hanging on a French cleat, okay? A homemade one. And the problem is with the French cleat is that the bracket that goes onto the wall has to be so secure because there's going to be something pulling it off, right? So you got to have a pretty secure fastener to hold it on, at least 2 of them. It means you're going to have a big hole in the wall. Whereas if I use the finishing nail thing, there's just going to be 2 little holes going down at an angle into the wall, and it just sort of hooks there. Now I suppose slowly over time the drywall, or as one viewer called it, gyprock. Yeah, we use the term gyprock here in Winnipeg as well. It will slowly sag, or I guess that's for lack of a better word. Anyway, this is not going to be that heavy. I know the submarine is big, but like I mentioned yesterday, we'll weigh it, and I think I'm going to make a guess that shelf and submarine and everything weighs 10 pounds or less. That's not too bad. Okay, let's get at her here. I was wondering what kind of glue am I going to use? And I was going to go back down to my workshop and get my Tight Bond 3 glue, which is waterproof. And I thought it doesn't have to be waterproof. It just has to make the joint so that it doesn't want to, go like this. And I could use my ordinary Elmer's white glue wherever it happens to be, but I don't think I will. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my weld bond here that I bought a couple of months ago. And wood, tile, glass, foam, stone, but it says wood right at the beginning. Wood. That's what we got. Now that somebody was saying you could stain this, or said something to that effect. Yeah, I've got wood stain downstairs, but I'm just going to leave it natural. I want to get this done today. It's gone on and on and on for over a year. Some days things went fast and we seemed to get a lot done, and some days things just it seems like nothing happened. I think one day there was actually nothing happened. Let's not make today one of those days. Okay, what do we got here? Minus 22.8 Celsius. Still cold. Where's that warmer weather that they were talking about? Well, maybe Sunday, we'll see. Got a photograph from Tennessee Jim in Tennessee, and apparently they had snow. Not very much, and it's probably gone now. But I mean, yeah, crazy weather. All right, let's recompose here and drill our holes and get these brackets glued on. And also, anyway, as I said before, I have a bad habit of talking about what I'm going to do. Why don't I just do it? No, this doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a hole in there. Yeah, that should be enough thread to grab that. Okay, let's recompose. Okay, I think if we press this down nice and hard, it should be perpendicular at 90 degrees to the tabletop. And the plan is that when we put this in, and if we were to, let's see now, we want to, in case it drips, I don't think it will, but okay, and then if we press this down and this down, we should have it at 90 degrees, if you know what I mean. Now this is not rocket science. And that should be enough. And where's a little cloth here that I can use this painting thing here, I guess. And this dries clear, so anything that goes over the edge, it doesn't really matter. Like that. And like this. Now I know you can't see it, but when I do this one over here, you'll be able to see it. Okay, now that should be square. Now I've set my slip clutch here so that it shouldn't strip out the threads if I go too far. Maybe I should go just a little bit harder. Oh, I can see the glue. I can see the glue oozing out, so that's going to be good enough. It just has to hold it in tight while the glue dries. Okay, now the other one. Oops. think I got too much. Hey, I always get too much glue, don't I? Well, I guess I'm going to have to stand up. Alright. Now, I would say that both of these are hitting the wall, so to speak, at the same time. So, yeah. Alright, once this glue dries, it's going to be super strong. I could actually stand on it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some CA glue, probably CA thin, and just let it run down in that hole, and that will strengthen the fibers around the wood so that this whole thing can't later break out. Because if I can turn this around here, well, maybe I can show you on this end, you can see that it could crack, but not too likely. But yeah, we'll just reinforce it. Doesn't cost anything. Now, a moment ago I was looking for my level, and I'd actually adjusted my lights so that they're aiming against the wall, and I'm thinking, okay, you just pound it into the wall and we're done. No, we're not done. I gotta get the light switch and the batteries. And what I did do though was I sharpened the point on my nails so that they will catch in the wall. They won't have a tendency to, yeah, let's make sure they fit. I did CA glue these holes. Oh yeah, that's going to be, it's going to catch plenty. That should go right through the drywall, or the gyprock. It's, I believe it's 1/2 inch gyprock. So, yeah, that should catch good. The only thing that could happen is I could put it where there is a drywall screw. You know, Murphy's Law. But, yeah, okay, so let's recompose here. Now the switch is going to have to go on the front here, and what I want is to have it so that just the end of the toggle is visible. And you just sort of flick it over. Okay, I've obviously used this switch before for something because I wrote on, so I guess on is in this direction. It's a little bit worn and dusty. I should check this and make sure that it's okay. I don't think I would have kept it if there was something wrong with it though. But I better check it anyway. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to bend this metal over and get rid of all these screws. And okay, once again, stop talking about it, just get at it. .3 ohms. That's pretty good. That's good enough for LEDs anyway, that's for sure. Yep, she's working. Okay, I've measured and I found the halfway point is approximately right there, within a couple of millimeters, I guess. So the idea will be when the switch is off, I guess, would probably be the best. Or maybe halfway, so that, yeah. Okay. And I just want to have it so that you just barely see where the switch is, so you can just sort of reach and flick it over. I don't want it hanging way down there. The less of this thing people see, the better. I would think probably like that should be fine. So let's see if we can kind of draw where this is going to go here. Maybe I should have had a shorter pencil, right? Well, this will give a rough idea. Okay. Now, that's the drawing I couldn't do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to, whoops, this glue gun should be hot now. And we're just going to quickly put a bunch of glue all around here where I think this is going to go. Mainly, I guess, at the top here. Wonder if I should sand this. Use my old sanding stick here. Okay, so it's going to go on here. Just rough that a little bit. Okay, here we go again. All right, now remember, I've only got about a few seconds to do this, so no, that should be more than enough. Now, quickly, Ron, quickly, before that hardens, because that's the problem with this kind of glue. All right. Now, when that cools, it should be plenty strong enough. You get the idea. Okay, you can see the pedestals here, and I've kind of measured a little bit, and I've concluded that the hole should come right about here for the wire. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a pretty hole. We just have to, where's my block here? I could run downstairs to my workshop and get one of my brad point bits and do a nice neat job so that when it comes out the other side we don't have a mess. But, you know, the pedestal's going to cover it up anyway. So let's just press this down nice and hard here. All right. I'm scared to look. Hey, that's all right. Probably because I use this backing here. Now it is 9 o'clock. My clock is just gonging. And Missy the dog could be coming by any minute, so we want to get ourselves in readiness here. Make sure I don't have any sawdust on my lens from yesterday. Looks okay. All right. We are ready for the dog. Now, the idea is we are going to hook this all up and then cut the wire and use quick connects, I guess. I was thinking of having some sort of a plug, but this is a lot simpler. And so that, you know, when we put we can't mount this on the wall when the submarine is attached to it. So we got to separate them and do them, put the submarine on afterwards. That's going to be kind of hard getting the wire fed down. Well, no, I should be able to figure it out. Yeah, this is not rocket science. All right, let's recompose here a little bit, and how are we going to fasten this so it's going to be out of sight? I wonder if I should maybe have like a little tray or something that it would be, excuse me, that I could fasten in here, and then this whole thing would just slip into the tray. You know, just, yeah, let's just turn this like this. Okay, I need a board 5 1/4 inches wide and probably about 8 inches long. Okay, no, that's too long. 7 inches. Okay, can you remember that? 5 1/4? Let's go down to the workshop and see what we can do. 5 1/4. Hello, Missy.
Oh.
Come on in, Missy.
Good morning, Uncle Ron.
Good morning, Max.
Oh. -30 is a wind chill. And in 4 days it's supposed to be heavy rains and +4.
Heavy rain. Oh my.
I think any rain's going to be heavy. Yeah.
All right, hang on here, Missy.
We got a lot of cold air. The air coming up from the south is going to be moist.
Well, I got a photo from Tennessee Jim down in Tennessee, and he had snow. Just a little bit. That's unusual weather for.
Well, I'm a generous man. I would let Tennessee Jim have all the snow here.
Yeah, we'll get a big truck and ship it to him.
He wouldn't even have to become our 11th province. He could just have the snow for free.
Yeah.
That's an idea, and it's a good one, making the United States our 11th province.
Yeah. Yeah, the United States.
A lot of Americans would like it. They'd love to have free Medicare, free dental care. We're getting free pharmacare. We have unemployment insurance. There's a lot to be said for becoming our 11th province.
Yeah, the United States of Canada.
No, it would be a province, Yeah, it would be Premier Trump.
Premier Trump.
And the American province. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good ring to it, Premier Trump.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Hey, Missy, what happened to you? Did you think you dropped something, or what happened? Hey, Missy, look, there's still more up here. Come on, get up here. Look, did you forget?
She wasn't the center of attention anymore. She said, "Well, I'm leaving."
You know what? She hears my cell phone battery is just about ready to die. And the cell phone is beeping, and that's what she hears. She hears my cell phone beeping. Come on. Come on. Hey, look.
She's warning that you need to be Uncle Ron. She's looking at you.
Okay, all right.
There's a problem. There's a problem, Uncle Ron.
What's the saying?
This is the early alert.
If the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad will have to go to the mountain.
How are we doing here, Miss?
Thank you for coming, Missy.
We wouldn't make him run for election. We'd let him keep his position. Thanks, Ron.
Okay. Bye, Missy.
I forgot. Bye, Ron.
Yeah. Oh my. All right. Hey, my door closed all by itself this time. Didn't have to help it. I guess it's warming up. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know what we were talking about there at the model table, you don't live in North America, you won't know, or you might not know, but President Trump of the United States has made the suggestion that Canada become one of their states. In other words, join up with them. Now, you may not know it, but the United States is about 8 or 9 times larger than Canada in population. And there's a lot of food for thought there. When I was in my late teens, and up until I was probably about 26, 27, I had the occasion to go a lot to a little city in Saskatchewan here in Canada, and it was called Saskatoon. And it was usually in the summertime. And I'd go into Saskatoon, and there was a river running through the middle of it. And there was 2 bridges right downtown. They were probably separated by, I'm guessing, not even half a mile. So you'd walk over one bridge and down and cross the river, and you could just keep going round and round like that for 2 or 3 times in a nice long evening. Anyway, where I'm going with this is that it was a very nice park area on one side. On the other side, there was houses. And on one of the houses, on the balcony, for many, many years, they had a banner, a huge banner. Like, I'm guessing it would be about 2 feet high and about 10 or 15 feet long. And this banner said, "World Peace through world rule. And I thought about that a lot, and I could see where, yeah, that's kind of right, but human beings being the way they are, I don't know. Would it work? I don't know. Yeah. Canada joining up with the United States would be just sort of one step, but then who's going to join up with whatever Canada and United States become? They're going to want to keep their own identity. Anyway, it's it's an interesting world that we live in. However, let's go down to the workshop and do something interesting. We need a piece 5 1/4 by about 7 inches to make our little panel here that's going to hold this in place when it's the other way up. Okay, I brought the other 3 switches back downstairs, and here's what's been happening. I remeasured the width of the inside of our box, and I got it precise now. And I was thinking if I was to cut the board exactly, maybe a millimeter less, then I could just lay it in place and just put a bead of hot glue along the edge. I think that might actually work. Now I see here that my hose is still hooked up from yesterday. So I gotta change that. That's not a big deal. Bear with me, please. Believe it or not, this workshop used to be nice and neat. And it has progressively become the mess it is. I used to have a place for everything and everything in its place. Now there's a place for everything. Okay. Now this is the piece that I used, that I cut off from that board down there when we made our shelf. And I think this is going to be just fine. Now let's be careful not to knock my adjustment off. You know what? It's uncanny. It is probably about 3 millimeters too small that way. So what we'll do is we'll cut it this way. It'll be okay. Oh, that's too bad. It would have been just a little bit wider. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, we're not going to need this. Look at my table saw. What a mess. Can't believe it. Okay. Alrighty. I think that's about right. It's pretty close anyway. Now, I want to be careful that this doesn't catch and come flipping out like this, so we're going to want to hold it down nice and tight. Alrighty. Oh, I gotta put my hose on the table saw. Okay, let's go back upstairs and see what we got. I hope I'm not going to have to do any sanding. That should be just about right. Ah, the smell of sawdust. Okay, time has really gotten away here again. And we're going to put our batteries over here on this side. I think was it this side we're going to have the batteries? Okay, which way was the... Okay, yeah, I think it's that way, like that. Okay, that would be our little battery shelf. I'm gonna have to do a lot of this off camera and just quickly get it done. Hot glue gun stuff. Now I have not tested this yet, but it should work. In theory it works anyway. Okay. So let's see what we're gonna get here. Okay, so this is the red one is gonna be my positive wire. And I think we can probably just stick this in here somewhere. Like this. That should be alright. I don't think it's gonna cause any problems. And this one here we'll put in here. Now the idea is we're gonna have we're gonna produce 6 volts. Like this. I mean 3 volts, so pardon me. I can't talk and work at the same time, obviously. Okay, so do we have 3 volts here now? Why is this not? Okay, there we go. 3.1. All right. Now we should, when we put these other batteries in the same way, it should, as long as we keep the direction the same. Now this should work. If there's a mighty flash and an ambulance has to come and pick me up, well, no, I did something wrong. Okay, so now let's see. Do we still have 3 volts or thereabouts? 3.1, yeah, so that's we got it. Now if I was to throw the switch here, let's put this down so we can see the submarine. Okay, it's pretty bright in here, so we might not be able to see anything. Some of the lights you should be able to see. Well, why not turn the lights out? Ta-da! Yeah. Okay, it's going to work. I'm just going to go ahead and try and get this up on the wall quickly. Spent enough time videoing today. So when the lights go on, the voltage drops to 2.6. You know, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. That means I'm not going to be burning out my LEDs. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and get it up on the wall. We are done. We are so done. I think if the room was a little darker, you'd be able to see the lights better. Okay. I guess the next thing I got to do now is clean this up here, get all this submarine stuff, extra screws and all that kind of stuff thrown out. But I'm going to call it quits for today. The nails in the wall, I didn't drive them in all the way. I left them out just a little bit so that if I want to move it, I can grab hold of them with a pair of pliers and pull them back out. But yeah, we're done. Tomorrow, the Enterprise. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we will see you tomorrow.